Laura and I decided to move from California to the Netherlands with our 2 daughters and our dog. For me, this was a return to my roots, and for the rest of the family, it has been an adventurous adjustment to the Dutch lifestyle. We've always dreamed of owning our own farmhouse. We are now trying to make that a reality. I hope you will join us in our journey as we renovate, decorate, and landscape our Dutch farmhouse. Here we are. We're looking at a website called Funda, which is a website in the Netherlands like Zillow or Redfin to look for houses for sale. Well, we're looking for a farm to move to, as we said in the introduction. So Laura, she's behind the computer, so she's gonna...
Well, I'm on this website every day, but because I'm obsessed. But anyway, so we want to start like narrowing this down. This is the Netherlands here, and we're here in The Hague. We live now right here by The Hague, and there's lots of things for sale, and it's a lot more expensive. But let's narrow this down a little bit for what we're looking for. So let me zoom back out. We want to have a woonhouse. That's a house with, no attachment. Here in the Netherlands, a lot of houses are in a row. And that's like a standard living arrangement. And then you have a little more expensive if you're a hoek house. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
and that's on the end. So you have windows on 3 sides. And in our apartment, we have windows on 2 sides, the front and then the back. So you only get light certain times of day. And because we live on the bottom in an apartment, we actually get almost no direct sunlight into our house at all. And light is a really important factor in the Netherlands. Then, so let's narrow this down further. So we also want to know perceel oppervlakte.
Perceel oppervlakte.
Perceel oppervlakte.
Yeah, so that's perceel oppervlakte.
Perceel oppervlakte.
Yes.
And I want it to be 1,000 square meters or more. 1,000 vierkante meter of meer. And that, if we were to say that in the US, it's about 4,000 square meters to an acre. So this is only a quarter of an acre. It's not big. But that rules out apartments and things like that we don't want to see. Yeah. I want it to have a garden, tuin. This is balcony, balkon. This is dakterras, that's a terrace on top of your roof. Those are common in the cities. And then a tuin. And I would like to have a garden. You can also define by building period, what year. We're not going to get too picky right now. And we don't want nieuwe bouw. We want bestaande bouw.
That means existing buildings.
There we go. And I'm just going to make that's enough. And that's already thinned out what we want. So if we zoom into The Hague, look at that. Very few places meet that criteria. There's almost nothing with that much land is how it works. And then if we zoom out, up here you see Amsterdam is here. So this is called the Randstad.
Yeah, the whole
Amsterdam,
area, yeah.
The Hague to to Rotterdam, and actually Utrecht.
Yeah.
Now, a whole bit on the west has, I think it's like 40% or 60% of the population of the Netherlands or something like that. Yeah. But out here you start to, once you get on this side of Utrecht, it starts to turn green. You start to have pretty much farmland, green fields, windmills, and thatched farmhouses. And that is what we're going for. Ideally, I would like to live somewhere in this area called the Achterhoek, which is basically the Cotswolds of the Netherlands. That's what I call it.
Literal translation is the back corner.
Yeah, the back corner, kind of underdeveloped, lots of farms, lots of thatched cottages.
Doesn't sound too great, back corner.
As long as people forgot about it and left everything alone, that's what I want. And then you have this river, the IJssel, that runs, we can get better maps, I think, than this. This IJssel runs all along and kind of divides everything. If you get on the other side, the east side of the IJssel, the river IJssel, it's less developed, less expensive, and in my opinion, more beautiful. So then you have 3 important cities. This is what I've learned.
Okay.
3 charming, beautiful cities that, actually 4, are called the Hansestad in this area. And they were the trading routes, so the big cities for trading. And they start in the south with Duisburg. And then if you go up the IJssel, then you see Zutphen, super charming walled city that has like old Roman walls to it, lovely. And then you keep going up the IJssel, and then you see Deventer, slightly larger, also very charming. And you continue up all the way up here to Zwolle. And so those would be like the 4 really charming Hansestad.
Another thing we really like about that area is that there's a lot of old castles in that area. Culture,
But you
that
can
is.
take
Yeah.
a bike ride in one day, and they have this 7 castle route where you can get on a bike and go all the way around and see them all in one day. And we did probably 5 in a day. I don't think we got them all. On our and electric bike helps, but that's a lot of fun. So this is one of my favorites. This is the one that I have my heart set on, which I know I won't be able to get in time. And I think it's so perfect. So here it is. It says here it's 23,000 square meters. And the first things I look up when I go through here is I make sure that it's not erfpacht.
Ownership is still in the hands of somebody else, and basically you're renting the land, but you own the buildings on it.
So here it is in this area. You can quickly look at like a satellite image. Look at all that farmland. Kadastral, what would the translation of kadastral be? It's like the land you own, and they draw out the line of exactly, and it can be really wacky. Yeah. I mean, because these things are hundreds of years old, so you can have these little easements and things. But anyway, this is a lot of land. It has like a nice like entry to it, and I can look at the street view, which is like super adorable. This is your little entryway, or your driveway. You'd come up, it's bricked in, and then back behind, let's look at some pictures here. It has all kinds of outbuildings, which would be great for guests. So here we go. So the main part of the house is here. And then you have a guest house here. Definitely probably an old barn, of course. And historically, this front part was where the people would live. And the back part was the barn with the animals. And the idea was you keep all the heat together. This was a wealthier person's house. If it doesn't have this front bit, often it just looks like a long building. But there was a dividing wall, people in front, animals in back. This is some sort of pig shed back here, who knows? And this is for parking. And this type of barn has a specific name.
Yeah, you can see a horse trailer in there.
Yeah, I mean, all these types of buildings have very specific Dutch names, which I will learn. So this house, the front entrance was always like where you would have like a more formal, like only the pastor would come on Sundays. But generally, people in farms never use the front door. They use a side entrance. And then in the back you can see you have where the animals would go in and out. Super charming. There you go, you got all your animals. I'm not so keen on having animals, but I am keen on having pretty flowering trees, maybe some
those
chickens.
look like apple trees.
Yeah.
See that? The flower.
This one is such a great one. Yeah. And there you have the barn. And this is an area that here we could have a guest cottage or divide it in two and have guest quarters here. And then this is what I would incorporate into the main part of the house, like a large living dining. This is the inside of the barn. This is very authentic. This is in that main living house. So this is what we would have to turn into a living room, a kitchen, family room, dining.
It's a good project.
Yeah. And look at those gorgeous beams up top. All these we would, of course, keep. This is the typical entrance for the everyday people. That would be the side entrance here. And this house, they walk right into a kitchen. Very small. So you think of this huge house and this tiny kitchen. This they renovated, obviously, in probably 1980. So basically, you have a situation where you're just standing in the room to shower. See, on the other side of this glass is a shower. There's no shower curtain. There's nothing. You're just standing there with all the breeze and everything to shower. And then you got a toilet. And that was a 1980s update. So I'm not seeing a lot of original details other than beams, possibly some of these doors. But certainly not the linoleum. That is not original. And
that's marble on the floor.
no, this would be that granite.
Oh, granite.
Yeah, this could be like a 1930s.
It's what we have in our
upgrade.
house right now.
Yeah, that's like a
That
1930s
Yeah.
period thing. So that wouldn't be original. Living room. This is a typical situation of the fireplace with the mantle really high and a stove type thing inside. But obviously that tile is not original. But what is common are these very broken up floor plans with lots of little rooms. But I do like how spacious.
Look at all those doors.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I always think in any Dutch house you walk in and there's sometimes like, there'll be like 7 doors when you walk into an entrance and it's sort of like a game show, like which door do you want to go into? And that was because of heating, right?
Yeah. So if you divide your house up in small rooms and then you can just heat each room individually.
Yeah, with like a space
that's
heater
why
or
there's
radiator.
multiple chimneys and everything in the houses here as well.
And that's even up until like the 30s, 40s. And yeah, only really in the last, what do you think, 30, 40 years have Dutch houses had open floor plans. It's been pretty recent. Energy costs are quite high here in Europe.
Lovely wallpaper.
Yeah. And then this is a lowered ceiling. This is the upstairs, but I'm not sure why they don't just allow the ceiling to be peaked here, because I don't know that you're really using that. So that'd be something to look into. Not a great use of space, as you can see.
Go back a picture. Yeah, you see they're using it as maybe storage.
And here's a little fire alarm.
Hatch.
Yeah, and then, but it clearly, like you could have a bathroom up here, you could have another bedroom. It's just a big landing area that's not super efficient, good use of space. Pretty windows and light though, clearly. All right, plattegrond. The plattegrond is the floor plan, which is awesome in Funda. They have every house, they have a really clear floor plan, so you can decide this is the main floor. So begaande grond means, is that goed?
Yeah.
That means ground floor. Eerste verdieping literally translates to first floor, but in Europe, all of Europe, that means the second floor. So here you go. This is the second floor, and as you can see, zolder, this is the upper floor of that barn.
Attic,
it's not being used. So you could absolutely expand or vault the ceiling or do something lovely.
Yeah.
And then you have the stal, which is a stall is this guest house.
The barn.
The barn.
Yeah.
That's how you call it. Yeah, barn. Like in English, right? And then kapschuur. That is the
parking area.
So that's what you call it. And I think it has kap is hat.
Yeah,
like
it just means it's a cover.
Just a covered area. What does loads mean? This is that long
loads, that is,
shacks.
Storage sheds.
Okay. Yeah.
Warehouse.
So this one has a lot of the features we want. It's in a reasonable price range. It has a lot of land.
I love how it kind of has like a little courtyard area feeling between the two buildings that, you know, if you demo out a bunch of that concrete, you can make something really nice out of that.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is our favorite right now. Shall we send an email?
Yeah, send a quick email. Just see if it's available and if we can look at it.
So I'm able to communicate generally in English with almost everyone here. So I can read the Dutch and then I usually respond in English, and that has worked well for me, even though I can speak Dutch. So that's one that we love. There's, so I have hearts on things. This one's Ruurlo. This is a lovely area. Not as big.
Zelhemse Weg, okay. As a kid, we used to go to a campground in that city, near that city, Zelhem.
So this one was on the market, off the market, on and off. I do not know what's wrong with it. But one thing is it's weird. So you have the cool farmhouse, but then they did some sort of weird, like metal roofing and wood siding on this other house with solar. And they're both made to be... oh, by the way, it'll say when it's built, and it also has usually the name of the farm. Can you pronounce that?
Schuttenstede, 1883.
Schuttenstede.
Yeah.
So this one, I don't really get it, what the deal is. But, you know, obviously you can have a main house, and then you can have...
side by side,
and then you could have the barn, you know, and then you have... And it has some strange sculptures. The red
those
and
are
black
easily
tiles.
removed.
But at least looks like there's, it's been somewhat modernized. This one's quite a bit modernized.
How many
This is
square meters?
almost 8,000 for the land.
8,000. Okay,
which
it's
is
more manageable.
yeah, a little more manageable. We're not looking for anything huge. They have a sauna inside. Look at that.
Ugh.
Not necessary. For some reason, they've split the house in half, like the long ways, which is weird. And they've split that lovely window in half.
Yeah, I see.
So that wall would come out for sure. Great tile work, guys. Yeesh. Yeah. Now these, I believe, are original tiles. This
That
red and
looks
black,
like it, yeah.
like terracotta. And look, there's even klompen by the back door. That's pretty. They really use those clearly. Don't you think?
Yeah. They really do
Look,
use
this
them.
actually has. Look at the tile. They have the original. Looks like some Delftsplau. This is some pretty cool old features in this kitchen. Look at that high ceiling. This is could be very good bones here. Big old windows.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a super cool feature. Do you see this door? You walk up, and you have like an office area. And if you lift this door, this little stairs up, you actually walk down into a little cellar.
Oh.
And these are in almost all of these old
I'd never
farms.
seen
Yeah, they're in a lot of them, but most of them have been taken out.
that. Okay.
But if we ever got one, I mean, you have to keep it if you have it.
No,
It's
yeah.
very cool. I mean, a little weird. Oh, air
They've
conditioning.
got air conditioning. That's
cl-
excellent.
Climate change. So here's the weird one. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, at least it's open. Obviously, it's renovated.
Looks like they made it a game room slash
I think it's just
computer
cosmetic on the
area,
outside.
maybe some fitness equipment. Yeah.
They put a lot of money into this, and it's always my
This
hesitation.
is just a fun
I don't like
space.
spending my
No,
money.
but the nice thing is that they have wired electricity in there, so that's already good to go.
But you know what I mean? Like
they
they
have-
spent money in this, and then
they've
we
heating
have to
in
buy
here.
it now, and I don't want it like that. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they already a lot of bones in there. You
Yeah.
know, the heating is in, so that means there's hot water.
Yeah, right. And this is the second barn. That's
you
that's
know,
the costly part is
If
getting water,
we
electric.
spot a sink of some
Yeah,
sort,
and a
is that-
toilet. Yeah,
Okay, so then there's sewage and
that's
and,
the expensive part.
yeah,
think,
so that is definitely worth something.
Oh, is that a busy road? Maybe it's on a busy street, but maybe an N-weg, which is not. It's like a country road.
Yeah,
I don't know.
back in that part of the countries, I don't think those no, that doesn't look like a busy road. It's a small road with a bike path next to it.
Okay, a 2-lane little.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It
Yeah.
just looks so nice and
Yeah, this is just a typical
country road.
country road.
Oh yeah, in the Netherlands they take good care of their roads, so they look beautiful. Okay, so that's that. I don't know. Maybe it hasn't sold because of the location near the road. That's possible.
But I like it. I think it has a lot of potential.
It's been on the market a long time. It's gone on and off and
I
on
think
and off.
for that area of the country, it's overpriced. What they're
don't know.
asking.
Needs a lot of work.
Um,
Actually. That was another saved house.
Well,
that I had.
I'd say let's
Okay.
let's-
You wanna?
see and call.
All right. I'll put my name in and let's see if we get an appointment.
Excellent.
Wow.
Hey, cool. 2. Nice.
So our goal is just to start educating ourselves right now. That's really what it is about. This is a nice location, but it's sold already. We don't want anything sold.
No.
Hangalow City.
Yeah, that looks like inside the city.
Don't want
No,
that.
no.
This is a half house. That's why
Okay.
they're only selling half of the farm.
Yeah.
That's not
Sold.
no, and it's already sold on a busy road.
Yep.
Now Forda is lovely, already sold. That one's
That's not a
not
farm.
what we want.
No.
And this is a little over budget.
Yeah.
1.5 million. And that I believe is
It's a campsite.
Oh no, this
So
is an interesting concept here.
So you're buying
A business.
business as well. Yeah, so it's a nature campsite. So basically, they don't give you anything. You have a lawn where you can pitch your tent.
Look at this, is like ramshackle barn. Oh, they have a loo.
Okay.
That's what they give you, is a toilet. And then what are you supposed to...
And a sink.
This is...
Oh, look, mail. Some good friends of ours sending us little gifts in the mail.
You think? Amazon,
Yeah.
our friend Amazon?
From Andrew.
Oh.
And
Show our viewers.
oh, that is so appropriate. It's a book called Time in Between Dreams. Which is exactly where we're at right now. Okay, we're dreaming of this house.
How to navigate uncertainty in your life and work.
Yep.
That's great. Okay, we'll take a read of that. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
This is in a city. Lochem is super cute. Another cute one. This is sold. This is some sort of turret. What the heck? Is this like an old...
Oh, it's an old windmill with the
top off.
top off. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Not interested in a decapitated windmill. That's not old enough.
No,
or nearly.
that is...
This is no charm left.
No.
Huh? They took it away with their red shutters and their bright
Is
red
it
bricks.
fixable?
The issue is they think we should pay for this. They've renovated it and they want me to pay for this decoration. I like the floors, but not these floors. I like the wood, but yeah, not interested in paying for that.
That kitchen is
It
around
doesn't.
the corner.
Yeah, it doesn't belong in a farmhouse. That's for sure. So that's the problem with these. A lot of these, it's someone else's taste, and they want to charge you for it, and you'd want to rip it out anyway. Now this is what we're talking about. Look at that, 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is it's either half a house or, no, it's full eigendom.
Yes,
Okay, so that's the other reason. Erfpacht would be the other reason. So the first thing I do is I check cadastral. And there you go. It's split in half. You're only buying half of a house, which is really common. That's really common here.
Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you'll join us next episode when we're going to tour some of these farmhouses.